Hello, Rob here from the Flanagan Homestead. I'm out at my firewood stand. I've got my shovel here today. I'm going to do the last repairs of putting my cash box back in the ground after the theft attempt where they tried to drag it out of the ground and then took an angle grinder and an axe to it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link in the description of what happened to this firewood stand on that theft attempt. But before I talk about, and a lot of people are curious, like what happened to the guy after they caught him due to the video I had of him stealing it. So anyway, I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But first, the firewood stand update on just how sales are going and how things are doing. So after getting the cash box back in the ground, I have now reloaded the firewood stand, and I feel like sales have been kind of slow. In the last couple of weeks, I've sold 25 bundles. I thought this time of year, now that school's out, it's not warm, but it's dry enough to go camping, people would be wanting to buy firewood. And I'm sure there's a lot of people camping, but I haven't been making as large a percentage of sales, as I normally would. And I think part of the reason it might be down a little bit is this is a 55-mile-an-hour freeway. Cars go by here very quickly. You can see one going right by here. And I was forced to move my firewood stand away from the road a little bit. The state asked me to move it off the freeway. And so the blackberries and the brush and everything else is growing up there when people are driving upriver to go to the camping areas and whatnot. And it's grown up enough that I think that visually people come up here and they get onto the firewood stand before they see it so quickly, then they look over and see it, and by then they're like, we're too far down, and there's not a lot of places to turn around and come back and get to the stand. So I think what I'm going to be doing here soon, although I got a lot of work to do on the campground, is I'm probably going to come in and cut a lot of the blackberries and brush down so that people can pick up the visual of the sign right here a little bit quicker so they have a chance to stop. So in the last few weeks since I put this up, I've had 25 bundles taken and paid for. So at $5 a bundle, I should have got $125. And I've kept a really accurate count, and I've got more than $125 since these bundles are gone. And you're like, what, people are overpaying? No, I don't think people are overpaying. What's happening is, I think, just based on my experience in the past, and I've had people leave a note and say, sorry, I didn't have money at the time, but people are going upriver. They take some bundles and they don't have cash, but they're like, I'm going to pay the guy when they come back. And it seems like many of them do remember, they're honest, and they come back and they pay for it afterwards. So there's not as many bundles gone, but then there's more cash in there. As a matter of fact, last week, this, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but this little cup insulator was left on the ground, and there was a payment in the stand of $3, and there was 2 bundles gone, so there's $7 missing. And today I came back and there was no money in the cash box. Didn't look like there's any bundles gone, but there was, the cup holder was again sitting here. It was inside my stand and there was $7 in it, which would make up the difference for what was gone. Was this the same person and this was his way of saying, this is me paying for my bundle or not? I don't know. I mean, my cash box is very visible with a big sign on it. I can't imagine that anybody wanting to buy firewood would not know where to pay when they came here. So I think he was just trying to say, hey, sorry, it was me. Here's your money. All right, now as far as the guy that stole from me in the video, so here's the story on what's happening as far as criminal records or arrest and what's going on. Originally, they had a hard time finding him because he did it in a stolen vehicle with fake plates, and so they didn't know what address to look up and go. But I told him, hey, look, you can tell in the video the times that he's come up, and just by my experience, I could tell it's somebody that lives upriver just a little bit. I was guessing somewhere between North Du Bois Road and Cougar, based on the time lapse of things, and it turns out that he actually lives on South Du Bois Road, which is, you know, turn off at the same place, just go south instead of north. Anyway, so they had an officer up there, saw the truck, picked him up. Inside the truck, he had ammunition. He had, which a lot of us have ammunition around here, a lot of hunting going on. But he had methamphetamines, he had the grinder, he had the axe in the stolen truck. and all the stuff that he used to rob the stand in there. So obviously he was arrested. I found out that he was released. He was released in less than 24 hours on bail. And a lot of people are like, well, that's the way it's going around here in the state of Washington. A lot of liberal judges and whatnot, and they're like, nothing's going to happen. There's a lot of frustration. But I do think that something may actually be happening, because I just got a call from a prosecuting attorney 2 days ago. They said his arraignment is coming up in a certain amount of time. They said expect to be required to come in and testify. And it sounds like they're pursuing something. I don't know what that is. I'm not part of the criminal justice system, but I will just give them my testimony, although I don't know what it is I'm going to say, because the video they have is everything that I know, other than, well, probably the other times that he tried to steal from me. And they actually talked about there might be a chance for compensation to get some money back for the damage he did. They said, how much did it cost to fix your cash box? And I said, well, that doesn't do me any good, because it took a lot of time and effort, my family's part. We had to lift this, well, I used the excavator to lift the 400+ pound box in concrete into the back of my truck. My son took it to work. He does a lot of welding at work. He repaired it during his lunch break and then came back. So I don't have any expense on the repair, although it was, over $400 to put it in originally. So I don't know if I'll get anything out of that. I got someone pulling in. I'm going to have to stop the camera for a second. So where was I? I put a link to the video in our community Facebook page, and well over 1,000 people in the community saw it, and a lot of people were amazed and shocked, and I put it there for a couple reasons. I thought people in the community should know what's happening, and that there's someone out there doing this and is a bold thief, and maybe be alerted to who's doing it. So actually I had a lot of people, several people go, oh my goodness, he lives in my community, he's my next door neighbor, this and that, and I go, no wonder stuff has been stolen. So there was people commenting about that, and they keep asking me, so what's going on legally and all this, and I really didn't know at the time. But I ended up taking it down from the Facebook page, and I understand people's frustration with thieves. I was angry when this happened to me, and hurt, and financially hurt, but I don't have hatred for the person. I hate what he was doing. I do believe actions need to have consequences, and that's how you change, it changes people's behavior if there's consequences. So I definitely wanted something to happen, but when I wasn't sure what. But some of the comments on the Facebook page were getting to, between I can't believe that's going on, to basically people saying they wanted him to rot in hell, and just going a little bit above, a little bit beyond what you should be making comments about another person. So anyway, I thought, how can I stop these comments? So I just took the post down, and then all those comments were gone. So again, I believe actions have consequences. If someone's breaking the law, they should have some consequences, whether that's time in prison or what it is that a person needs to do. But I also believe that if someone repents, they should have forgiveness. And true repentance is you're sorry that you did the action, not just sorry that you got caught. And a lot of times there's people that are just sorry that they got caught. So my hope is he'll have a come to Jesus moment when he realizes, what am I doing? Where am I going? And he turns his life around, and he'll probably still have some consequences, which is fine, but I hope that he becomes a productive citizen. My hope for him and anybody else, whether they're my friend or someone that's wronged me, is that you turn your life around, become a productive, honest person, and then I honestly hope that he and his family has a blessed life and a happy life as he becomes productive and helps society instead of harm society. So anyway, that's my view on it. That's a little update. When things actually go to court and there's actual results, consequences for his actions, if there are any, I will have a short update on what happened there. So anyway, thanks for joining me on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching and cleaning horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects are my passion. Be blessed, everyone.